You know the iconic laugh and the crazy characters, but the real Jack Nicholson was hiding secrets that make his movies look quiet by comparison. Hidden family lies, brutal heartbreak, disturbing scandals that touched his inner circle. We are breaking down 10 of the wildest truths and legends about Jack Nicholson. And trust me, the final one shows a price he never stopped paying. Surprising truth number 1, the secret family. Jack Nicholson grew up inside a lie. For most of his life, he believed his grandmother Ethel May was his mother, and that his real mother June was his older sister. He did not find out the truth until the 1970s, when a Time magazine reporter uncovered public records while preparing a profile on him and confronted him with the information. By then, both Ethel May and June had passed away, and no one could fully explain why the secret was kept so long. The revelation forced Jack to reevaluate his entire childhood, his identity, and the women who raised him. It felt like something out of one of his own films, only this time it was real and permanent. Surprising truth number 2, the secret paternity doubts. Jack spent nearly 17 years in a turbulent relationship with Anjelica Huston. During that time, he began seeing a much younger actress, Rebecca Broussard. When Rebecca became pregnant in the late 1980s, the story exploded and publicly humiliated Anjelica. Jack acknowledged the child as his, but behind the scenes, reports and biographies claim he was anxious and wanted private confirmation that he really was the father. Those accounts are based on second-hand reporting, not official documents, but they fit a pattern. In public, he carried himself like the ultimate confident movie star. In private, he often seemed unsure, trapped in the fallout of his own choices. Surprising truth number 3, the infamous golf club attack. One of the most famous real-life Nicholson moments did not happen on a movie set. In 1994, during a morning traffic dispute in the Los Angeles area, Jack lost his temper at another driver. Witnesses and police records confirm that he took a golf club from his car and attacked the other man's vehicle, striking the windshield and roof. He was charged, the case was settled, and he later apologized. The incident became a permanent part of his public image, proof that the simmering rage audiences saw in his characters was sometimes very close to the surface in real life. Surprising truth number 4, the real temper behind the legend. The golf club case did not appear out of nowhere. Long before that headline, stories of Jack's short fuse were already part of his reputation. Friends, co-workers, and journalists talked about his intensity, his need for control, and his readiness to confront people when he felt disrespected. Some tales drift into rumor territory, and not every angry Jack story can be confirmed. What is clear is that the world embraced his fiery, dangerous screen persona, and his real-life behavior at times reinforced the idea that this was not just an act. Surprising truth number 5, the strange tension with Marlon Brando. For a period, Jack Nicholson and Marlon Brando lived as neighbors on Mulholland Drive. On paper, it sounds like a legendary friendship. In reality, reports from biographies and visitors describe a more awkward and uneven relationship. Stories surfaced about late-night noise, loud music, and Brando's habit of testing people's patience. Some accounts claim Jack grew frustrated with Brando's behavior. None of it rises to the level of a public war, but it adds a strange wrinkle. Two of the most powerful actors of their era, side by side on a hill, circling each other more as wary planets than as best friends. Surprising truth number 6, the party house on the hill. In the 1970s, Nicholson's home on Mulholland Drive became one of the most famous party spots in Hollywood. The guest lists were stacked with actors, directors, rock stars, and power players. People who were there describe constant traffic, heavy drinking, drug use, and a creative free for all that blurred day and night. The house symbolized a new kind of Hollywood, less controlled, more hedonistic, and far more open about it. Some storytellers like to claim those parties directly inspired specific movies. The safer truth is this: Nicholson's place became mythology all by itself, a symbol of how far the elite were willing to go. Surprising truth number 7, the Polanski case in his home. In 1977, Jack's world crossed paths with one of the darkest crimes in Hollywood history. Director Roman Polanski, a close friend of Nicholson's at the time, was charged with the sexual assault of a 13-year-old girl at Nicholson's home while Jack was out of town. Anjelica Huston was present at the property and later gave a statement. Jack was not there when it happened, but the fact that his house was the setting turned his home from legendary party spot into a crime scene in the public mind. It stained the aura around him and his circle, and Polanski's actions cast a shadow that never went away. Surprising truth number 8, the high cost of his lifestyle. Nicholson's party life was not subtle. Biographies and interviews across the years describe heavy cocaine use, constant entertaining, and an appetite that matched his income. Some writers have estimated that his drug and party spending reached tens of thousands of dollars a year at his peak. Exact numbers are hard to prove, but everyone agrees it was extreme, even by industry standards. This was not a quiet hobby. It was a central part of how he lived, who he spent time with, and how the legend of Jack Nicholson grew. Surprising truth number 9. The 2,000 women legend. One of the most repeated parts of the Nicholson myth is the idea that he slept with up to 2,000 women. The number itself comes from a mix of jokes, offhand comments, and tabloid math, not from a verified record. What is true is that Nicholson cultivated and enjoyed the image of the unstoppable Hollywood playboy. He was linked, in reality and in rumor, to models, actresses, and high-profile women for decades. Whether the number is accurate or not is almost beside the point. The legend of excess became part of his brand, and he rarely did anything to slow it down. Surprising truth number 10, the one he could not replace. For all the chaos, fame, and attention, many people close to Jack believe there was only one person who truly matched him: Anjelica Huston. Their long and volatile relationship was full of betrayals and reconciliations, but she understood his world, his talent, and his demons in a way others did not. When his affair with Rebecca Broussard and the pregnancy became public, it was the breaking point. Huston walked away. Jack never married, and friends and biographers often suggest that losing her was the one outcome he could not charm his way out of. The man who seemed to own Hollywood ended up alone with the knowledge that his own choices had cost him the one relationship that might have grounded him. So, there you have it. 10 hard-hitting truths and legends about Jack Nicholson. Some documented, some long-standing rumors that built his myth, all painting a picture of a man far more complicated than the characters he played. If this look into the hidden life of a Hollywood legend surprised you, tell us in the comments which truth hit you the hardest and why. Did it change how you see his performances, or does it make the man behind the roles feel more human, more dangerous, or more tragic? Drop your thoughts, theories, and favorite Nicholson moments so we can feature some of them in an upcoming video. If you want more deep dives into the real stories, scandals, and untold chapters behind Hollywood icons, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with someone who thinks they already know the full story. You are going to want to be here when we pull back the curtain on the next legend. Until then, keep your eyes open, because in Hollywood, the wildest stories are usually the ones nobody was supposed to hear. Thanks for watching.